Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are practicing Ashtanga Yoga. If you're not familiar with Ashtanga, then what you should know is Ashtanga is a set sequence. I'm not going to do the full sequence, just for time's sake and for energy's sake. We're going to keep it a little bit shorter. I want to keep this practice to about 1 hour. This sequence that we're doing is called the Primary Series. This is the intro series, the first series of Ashtanga Yoga. There are 2 additional series that you can move into, but you should first master the Primary Series. So yeah, I'm still working on mastering this, so this is a practice for me as well, but I'm happy to guide you through and help you along while I also practice. So welcome, and let's go ahead and get started. So the way that we start in Ashtanga is we jump into sun salutations right away. Because I'm still a new teacher, the whole speaking while moving is still kind of challenging, so bear with me. In the sun salutations, I'll probably get a little bit out of breath, and once I start to hit those when I'm building heat, sometimes I forget my words, or I try to speak and things come out kind of funny or nonsensical. So yeah, just a heads up, that might happen, but no worries, we can still practice. And the only way to get better at it is to do it. So here we are. So let's all start at the top of our mats. Typically in Ashtanga, you should begin with the beginning mantra. I don't have that memorized. I'm not going to do it today, or the closing. We're all supposed to close with it. I'm not going to do the mantras today. Let me know in the comments if you think I should include those. I might play with that. I might have to print it off and read it as I'm chanting. But it's something I would do to keep it kind of traditional if there's enough interest. I think in the West we do sometimes get a little turned off by that, so let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear it. Okay, so sun salutation A, here we go. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, halfway up. Or, sorry, not halfway up. That's what I mean. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold it for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look to the top of your mat, and exhale, jump or step to the front. Inhale, a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over, and exhale. That's 1. 2 more times just like that, keeping the inhales and the exhales in rhythm. So inhale, flat back. Exhale, step it back. Oh, I should have gone all the way down to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or that's not cobra. Upward facing dog. Exhale to a mountain pose. So in Ashtanga, this is called mountain pose because you look like a mountain. Hold it for 5 breaths. Try to find stillness. 3, 4, and 5. Now inhale, bend your knees and step or jump to the front of your mat into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart. One more round, sun salutation. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, straight to chaturanga on that one exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And 5 breaths here. Three, 4, 5. Inhale, come to the tips of your toes, bend your knees, and step or hop to the front of your mat. Flat back, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over, and exhale, hands to chest. Very nice. Now let's go on to our sun salutation B. I'm not giving a whole lot of explanations on the alignment. And that's just because this is not a beginner practice. Okay. Usually when you choose Ashtanga, you've been doing yoga for a little while. Okay, so here we go. Sun salutation B. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands, drop your back foot. Exhale and inhale. On your inhale, lift up. On your exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, step your left foot up into, into your warrior one. And exhale, back to chaturanga. In upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, step or jump to the top of your mat with a flat back. Exhale, nose to knee. And inhale, sweep your hands up into a chair pose. And Namaste. Woo! Those ones are exhausting, aren't they? Let's build our heat. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So sweep your hands up into the chair pose. And exhale, down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, warrior one. Warrior one, sorry. I had a brain glitch. Exhale, back to your chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. On the breath inhale, step straight into the warrior one on the left side and chaturanga. And upward facing dog, then downward facing dog. And again, hold this for 5 breaths. Whew. Don't forget about your ujjayi breath. It's the restriction in the back of your throat that makes your breath sound like an ocean. Step to the front. Oh yeah, the halfway lift. Exhale. Nose to knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up to your chair pose, and exhale, stand all the way up. Okay. Woo, one more time. I'll try to be more smooth with that. I am a noob. Sorry, bear with me. If you know what you're doing, just go through it. Okay, inhale. The whole point for this is to sync your breath with your movement. So it's a lot of movements and it's fast. Okay, so inhale, arms up. Ooh, chair pose. Okay, exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, chaturanga. You could jump if you're feeling ready. Jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Oh, and step your right foot forward. Drop your back heel. Inhale, warrior one. And on your exhale, chaturanga. On your inhale, upward facing dog. On the exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Drop your back right foot. Lift up to your warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. And exhale into your downward facing dog. Hold this for 5 breaths. Using your ujjayi breath. Okay, on your last breath, look between your hands, bend your knees and jump or step to the front of your mat. Okay, we're in the halfway lift. Exhale, nose to knee, and inhale, chair pose. I don't know why I forget what the nose is called until I touch it, but it seems to be a thing. And exhale, Namaste Tihi. Namaste Tihi. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to say it. I don't remember. Namaste Ti. Namaste Ti. Namaste Tihi. Okay. Anyway. Sanskrit's fun. Okay. Now we're going to do our standing series. So here we are at the front of our mat. We're going to step our right foot back. We're going to turn the left foot at a 90-degree angle so it's parallel with the front edge of our mat. And we're going to turn our right toes out. From here, I'm going to make a T with my arms, but my hips to the left, and I'm going to teeter-totter in one motion here. And I'm going to hold it for 5 breaths. I'm going to keep using the restriction in my throat. And I'm going to try not to let my body go too out of whack. I want my torso should be straight in a line. That's my main goal. My goal is not to touch the mat. Okay, now on your last breath, use the pull of your left hand to pull you up. Imagine someone's just pulling your left arm up so that you lift up. And these are connected, the different arms, right? So we're never doing this or this. They're always just in a straight line. Okay? Okay. Excellent. Now, turn your left foot out and your right foot at a 90-degree angle. We're going to do the second side. Inhale into your arms that are in a very nice, beautiful line. Your knees are straight. You're going to bump your hips to the right this time, and you're going to start to tilt over. Again, we're not trying to just hit the mat. We're trying to create a pulling sensation through the arms and letting it open up our thoracic a little bit more so that we could get a nice twist, and keeping our hips in line so that our hips are working, they're being externally rotated. And our side, the side here is just getting a nice stretch, and our thoracic spine is getting a nice stretch as well. So this one we also hold for 5 breaths. And just like the last time, we're gonna act like we're being pulled up by this hand and let it go. Step your right foot to your left and just take a moment to breathe. I did not do that correctly, but that's okay. Don't tell anybody, please. Okay, I'll try to do the next side better. So now we're gonna do our Pavrita Trikonasana. So step your right leg back, flip your toes. Well, let's first bring our right toes to face forward. And you might want to step your foot out so that there's a little more space. And our back foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle. We want to get our hips to the front. From here, I'm going to lift my hand up, and I'm going to start to keep a flat back and fine length over my right leg. Then I don't have a block. I should have a block, although some Ashtanga yogis prefer not to have blocks. I'm a props lady. You're gonna bring your left hand to the outside of your right foot. You can see here I do need some height so that my back is not rounding. Here it's rounding, but I want it, so instead I'm gonna just use my hand against my leg and create a little bind. And I'm going to lift my right arm to the sky. And I'm going to breathe here for 5 breaths. I'm working to keep my hips square. And at the end, I'm going to just come on out of it, however you can. I'm going to turn my left foot to the front and step my right foot to meet it. Yeah, that one's kind of fun, tricky. I'm trying to focus on my hips being square. It's the hardest part. It's got a lot going on. So good luck to you. Okay, now this time step your left foot back and put your left foot to I guess this is the front of my mat. I don't know if it's the front or back, but point it that way. And then I'm gonna step my right foot out maybe a little bit and have it at a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna work on getting my hips to the front. That's the hard part. I'll lift my right hand up to the sky, and I'm gonna hinge forward at my hips, trying to keep my flat back. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then, you could put your hand on your low back. Try to find a nice place where you could get some twist, some leverage, and then lift your left hand to the sky, and then work on this left hip likes to point forward, as you can see. I'm not trying to show you my butt, but it's happening. So I'm going to try my best to tuck this hip back and hold it for 5 breaths while also opening up my chest. This is really nice with a block, I have to admit. 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to come on out, and I'm going to step my left foot up to the front. Okay, yep. You with me still? Now it's time for side angle. So, we're gonna step our right foot back. Again, we're gonna point our left foot so that it's parallel with the front edge of the mat. And our right leg is gonna be pointing perpendicular to the back edge of the mat. Okay, now we're gonna come in kind of like we're going into a warrior two, but this time I'm gonna pull my arm as far as possible. Ideally, I would put my hand to the outside, not on the inside. We're gonna put it on the outside. If that's really just not accessible at all to you, then you're gonna put your forearm on your thigh. And you're gonna hang out here. You want that nice, beautiful angle. If it is accessible to you, go ahead and put it down. It's best, the full expression of the pose is to get your palm flat on the ground while also curling open your chest. You can see I still need to work on it. Ideally, I need a block, but I forgot it. Next time I'll have a block. Yeah, but if you are taking this variation, be sure not to dump and hang out. We are pushing and engaging our muscles. Okay? And also I'm trying to keep my hips down. It's a lot going on. 3, 2, and 1. You could come out, let your left arm pull you out. Shift your feet to the top of the mat and step them together. Whew. Take a nice cleansing breath like I just did, like I sound like a ghost or something, I don't know. Now, with the left foot, step your left leg back. Point your right foot, make your right foot parallel with the front edge of the mat, and your left foot perpendicular to the back edge of the mat. Bend your left knee and reach your hands out. Pull that forward. I'm going to keep it here again because I want to match the sides. And breathe here for 5 breaths. I did some wiggling, that's okay. In my practice, I'm okay with that. In traditional practice, you should find stillness. But to each their own. Okay, now we're gonna step our right foot back. And we're gonna turn both feet towards the back. The back foot can be at a 45-degree angle. I guess for beginner's sake, you can drop your left knee down to the mat. You're gonna raise your left arm and you're gonna hook it across your right knee. From here, you could take your other hand and press it in to your left hand. Tuck your back toes and straighten your leg. Get that twist. If you didn't need to, you could also just go straight into the twist. And also, if you're feeling comfortable, you could open your arms. Oops. If you lose your balance, that's okay, no worries. Come back and hold it for 5 breaths. If you do this, you might feel your right hip is trying to poke out. Try to pull it back while maintaining the bend in your knee. Look up if you can. Okay, and come on out, and let's meet at the front. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Left side. Okay, so step your left leg back. Have both feet to the back of the mat. Right foot is at a 45. Well, actually, right now, that we're not doing that way. That's the final expression, really. Drop your right knee. Reach up. Find length in the right side body and hook your right elbow to your left knee. And when you do this, you want to try to get your knee as close to your armpit as you can. Like really just lock it in. And then press. It makes it hard to breathe. That's why I'm running out of breath. My lungs are compressed. Okay. Push your left hand into your right hand. Tuck your back toes and press up. Find that twist. Make sure your shoulder isn't going too far forward, like rounding, or too far back. And then you could also open your arms. When you do that, maintain this hip being pulled back. And breathe here for 5 breaths. Okay, when you're ready, let's come on out and meet at the top of the mat. Come out however you like. That's your unique expression. Don't let me dwindle it. Okay, now we're going to do our forward folds. Okay, so step your right leg to the back. You want them further than shoulder distance apart. You want them pretty nice and wide, but your feet should be parallel with both short ends of the mat. Okay, so make sure your feet aren't turned out. So that's not what we're going for. Okay, so put your hands on your hips, lift up through the top of your head, and start to hinge forward at your hips. When you get down, take your hands, put them between your feet if you can. If you stop here, that's okay. If you go further, try to really pull yourself down. Pull the crown of your head down as much as you can. And if you can touch the mat with the crown of your head because your body proportion or whatever, you can start to bring your feet a little bit closer just to increase the distance. But there's no need to get your head actually down on the mat. That's just kind of a place we're working towards. Although it doesn't, I don't think, you don't get a reward for that though. And then I guess Instagram likes or something. Yeah, we hold this for 5 breaths. Make sure your weight is not on your heels. I like to kind of put it towards the middle or towards the front of towards the toes, because that'll increase the stretch in the hamstrings. Okay, put your hands on your hips and with a flat back, come all the way up. That was our A position. Now we're going to do this again, but keep your hands on your hips, find length, and once again, hinge forward. We're going to keep our hands on our hips this time, and we want to try to bring our elbows closer together. So when we're standing up front, it's going to look something like that, but when we're upside down, it doesn't quite look like that, although that's what we're working towards. Okay, so once you get there, we're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Yeah, and with each breath, you want to go a little deeper if you can. See if you could let go just a little bit more each time. Okay, and when you're ready, flatten your back and come all the way up. Very nice. Now we're gonna do part C. So we're gonna do that again, but this time we're gonna clasp our hands when we get there to the bottom. Ideally, when you clasp your hands, you want them to be palm against palm like this and not open like this. So try your best. Sometimes you're not there today, then that's okay. So first, hands on hips. Find length in your spine and start to hinge forward at your hips. Get into your nice deep forward bend. Then clasp your hands. So here, this is what mine looks like today. If I do it more, it does feel like if I open my palms, it feels like I could go further. But actually, I'm gonna keep them closed because that'll progress me in a different way. Whew. Yeah, let go with each breath. Feel the stretch, find what feels good. It's supposed to be 5 breaths again. I like to shake my head yes and no, bend my knees sometimes. I'm not trying to torture you, so find what feels best in your body. I'm not gonna come to your house and beat you up if you wiggle a little bit. Okay, let it go. And our last variation of this, we're gonna put our palms under our feet. Okay, so once again, hands on hips, lift up through the body and start to hinge forward at the hips. Now take your hands, put them under the sides, and from here you bend your elbows out, so that'll help pull you down. It's a pulling action. You're actually pulling your torso through your legs while maintaining straight legs. It's like a spine lengthening thing. 5 breaths. I think I've done like 2 maybe. I'm gonna add on another 3. Okay, once you're finished, you can let that go. And hands on hips, come all the way back up. Now let's turn our foot to the front, bring our right foot up to meet it. And enjoy this feeling right here. Okay. So I didn't bring my yoga strap, which I should have done. Oh, maybe I don't need it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna face you so you can see, but usually you're still facing that way. I'm gonna start to shift my weight onto my left foot, and I'm gonna start to bring my right foot up. Ideally, you should wrap your hand around from the outside. Sometimes it's not possible, you have to do inside first. And I'm gonna root down, find my length, and straighten my leg for 5 breaths. Three, 4, and 5. This takes all of my concentration. I'm so sorry. If you can, don't bend your leg like I just did. And now take it to the side. Oops, I'm gonna fall. Counterbalance for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I fell. And 5. That's okay. Now, bring it back to the front. Sorry, there's a plane. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. Okay, and try to bring your head to your knee. And now, let your legs hang out here. Ooh, and I'm burning. That was really hard. Okay. My left leg is burning. I don't know about you guys, but it is. Okay, so I'm gonna hang out here. Okay, I fell out again, so I'm just gonna call it a day on that side. Okay, ideally you don't drop your leg at any point through this sequence, but easier said than done. Whew. Okay, let's go to the second side. Shift your weight onto your right leg. Find your breath first. Okay, and now, yeah, I should do it from here. That's okay. Lift up, push your leg out for 1, 2. This side is much harder for me. If you have a yoga strap, that's better. If you feel like you're losing balance, you could bend your leg or bend it to the degree that you can if you have some hamstring limitations. This side for me, I do have some more hamstring limitations. I also notice my foot likes to turn out. Try to keep your foot neutral. Okay, so if you're still holding it, sorry, you could let go and do the side. First things first, when you're struggling for balance, feel the earth in your grounded foot. Really make it feel like it is one with the earth. Find your balance, but also pull through the top of your head. Make sure that whole line is solid before moving on. I'm going to already throw my hand out for counterbalance. I'm going to master my breath instead of my breath trying to catch up to me. I'll let my breath guide me. Ooh, and I'll hold this for 5 breaths if you can. If you fall, that's okay. 3, 4, and 5. Now bring it back to the front. Ooh, my leg is cramping. Let me know how you guys are doing or how you did later on in the comments. Okay. Now forward. And now we're gonna let it hang out here. Ooh, that's still a struggle for me. Just rework that. Get your footing again. Find your breath. And start again. For 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah, I feel the burn on that. I can feel it. I'm gonna shake it loose. And the other one I'm gonna do is the bound tree. I like using a strap. I do have my yoga. This one's my mat strap, but maybe I could use it as my yoga strap also. I'm gonna catch my breath, because in these movements it's better to have your breath be the leader. You don't want to be, unless you're trying to work up a sweat and get your heart rate going, then your body could be faster than your breath. But here, I want my breath to be the leader. Okay, now we're gonna come into a tree, but we're gonna come into the Ashtanga tree. So shift your weight one more time onto the left foot and grab your right foot and pull it up to your hip and drop your knee down. Okay, now I'm gonna put my strap around it and I'm gonna wrap my right arm around the back, because eventually I want to be able to hold on to my foot in a bind. Until that day though, I'll use a strap. Okay, I'm gonna really press that down. I'm gonna find length and hinge at the hips and go touch my toes. Hold that for 5 breaths. 3. If you have a block, that could help bring the ground closer. I feel a big hip opening stretch in my right hip. Okay, try to come out with grace if you can. If not, maybe another time. Okay. Now, let's shift our weight onto our right foot. And grab your left foot and put it in your right hip crease. I'm gonna put my strap around it, wrap it around. I'll put my left hand back. Okay, and now I'm actively pressing my left knee down. Interesting, I feel a little leg pinching thing going on. I don't think this is hurting it, but there is some sort of injury that I didn't know I had. Okay, lifting my right arm up. I'm gonna hinge forward, and I'm gonna fall. That's okay though. Keep doing your 5 breaths, and if you fall, no worries, just come back. Come back, start again, rebuild. Okay. Maybe this is all I do today, and that's okay. Sometimes I bring my thumb right into my chest and I just first hinge. That helps with the balance sometimes. This leg is not as stable, but that's okay. This is why I do it. Now I know things. Also, I can feel like a burning feeling in my arch, the arch of my foot. So that's an interesting sensation. I need to do some muscle building. Okay. Whew. Very good. Now we're up. We're gonna pretend like we did that at the front of the mat. And we're gonna meet back here. Go ahead and shake your legs a little bit. And we're gonna flow through a vinyasa, a sun salutation A. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Jump back if you can. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, now I'm not able to jump through, but I'm gonna drop my knees and shift on to the back. Okay, and now here we are. I'm gonna spread my booty fat a little bit so I could get onto my sit bones real nice. And we're gonna come into Paschimottanasana, or a seated forward fold. We got a lot of forward folds here, but that's okay. So hands up, and go ahead, and on this one we're just gonna grab the sides of your feet. Okay, keep your back like we're trying to stretch the spine out, so just keep that in mind. Okay, and breathe here for 5 breaths. Okay, and now come on out. And this time, I'm gonna go back into Paschimottanasana, but I'm gonna put my hands over the tops of my feet instead of on the sides. The sides, you put it on the sides and then you bend your elbows out. This time though, I'm gonna put them over the tops and I'm gonna bend my elbows while simultaneously, like here, you can see my feet. They're okay, I guess, but eventually I want to like really pull my toes back. That's gonna increase the stretch in the back of your legs. Okay. we're just going to do these 2 stretches for today for Paschimottanasana. Another variation is to try to grab your wrist. I'm not there today. Maybe on another day I'll get there where I grab my wrist around. Okay? So we're holding this also for 5 breaths. Let's say you've done like maybe 3. Okay, and from here we're going to do another vinyasa. So cross your feet, put your hands, and just flow however you want. Whatever feels good for you right now. And come back down, because we're now going to do our, I'm going to grab my makeshift yoga strap again, because we're going to do another variation of the Paschimottanasana, but this is part of our, I'll do this leg first. So I'm going to cross my left leg. You're supposed to do your right leg, but I'm going to show you on the left. You're going to grab your foot and put it into your hip crease, just like we did in that tree pose. And from here, you're going to also wrap your left arm around to catch your left foot. Mine's still not quite there, so I'm just going to use my yoga strap. This is my mat strap. And I'm going to get to there. Sometimes I like to, ooh, look at that. I can get it. I don't need you. Okay. So I'm going to hang out here, and now I'm going to raise my right hand and try to touch my head to my toe for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, very good. Let's come back up, let it go. Ooh, and switch to the sides. I like to first pull it in and use my elbow to kind of like really press it in to kind of, just to really give it a little shift. Now I'm going to take my right arm around. Let's see if I could get it on this side. Ooh, I could barely get it on this side also. It's different, but I'm still there. So I'll take it, lift my left hand up, and bend forward for 5 breaths. Try towards this expression, even if you're nowhere near it. Use a strap. Yeah, just see where you're at and do what you can, and over time you'll open up. Have faith in the process. Don't let it scare you if this looks really scary. Yeah, that's my best advice for that. Okay, come on out of that. We're gonna do another vinyasa and then another variation of Paschimottanasana. So step back into your down dog, chaturanga, oof. Up dog, down dog. You don't need to hold it for 5 breaths on these. Now, I'm gonna take my right leg and I'm gonna do like a quad stretch with it, or like I don't know what else you would call it, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, go ahead and, you could sit on a block for this if your hips are really uneven. If you find yourself just really tipping to the side like this, then get a block under your extended leg. That'll help keep your hips in a line. So that's a variation you can do, some helpful things. Otherwise, just go for it. Hang out here if this is all you got. Otherwise, lean forward into this for 5 breaths. So 5, 4, oh wait, that's a countdown, that's not breaths. Okay. And when you're ready, come on up and switch sides. You're gonna extend your right leg, get your back leg back behind you, sit on a block if you need. Otherwise, lengthen and hinge at your hip. Grab as far as you can on your foot. Ooh, this is a lot, isn't it? I feel the burn in my legs, in my quads. I'm gonna try, I feel myself shifting this way. I really should have something under my hip, but that's okay. I could try to counterbalance it with my body weight. Okay, and come back up. We're gonna do another vinyasa. And then we'll do our Janu Sirsasana. Okay. Ugh. I could still feel a pinching in my back. Not sure what I did. Wasn't the yoga helps it. Okay. So for Janu Sirsasana, we're gonna extend the left leg and bend our right like this. And we're gonna face our torso and everything towards the left and just fold on over. Hold it for 5 breaths. And come on up and switch your sides. And once again, fold over. Same kind of deal with any of these forward folds. First, you want to get like a nice hip hinge, and then you just lay over your leg. Once you can do this, then you want to start to activate your foot. So that means really pressing my heel forward and then laying down. And that just makes it crazy different and more intense, like a deeper intensity. So here, if I let my foot relax, you can see it's really easy for me to go all the way down. But if I do that, I'm a lot more cautious about going down. I can still go down, but not as fluidly, or like the other way is like very easy. This is a little bit painful or intense. Not painful, but I feel the stretch much, much more. Okay, so I'm gonna come up out of that. And now we're gonna do B. There's 3 versions of Janu Sirsasana. And I'm gonna bend my foot again, but this time I'm gonna bend it and then I'm gonna pick myself up and scoot forward so that I'm sitting on my foot. Yeah. This one, personally, I have some like hyperextension in my knees. So I do like to put a block under here to prevent me from straightening it too much under my knee, just so that, I don't really have anywhere to go. Otherwise, keep a micro bend and do the same thing. I'm keeping my arms here, but that's just lazy and comfortable. You can, you can definitely grab your foot if you can. And see how it feels. This doesn't feel that much different to me, to be sitting on my foot, other than it might put some strain on the back of my knee. But it's part of the Ashtanga series. I guess maybe for some people you feel it more in the, I'm not really sure actually. So please let me know where you feel this, how it's different from the other one, from A. Okay, and once you're finished with both sides, we're gonna now do the final version, So I'm going to face you for a second so that you can see. In the final version, you're going to take your foot, and I'm going to hook my hand around my ankle like this, and I'm going to push my foot forward so that my toes are on the mat like this. So you see my heel is basically in my crotch, and I'm going to even scoot a little bit more. I feel a lot of stretch through here when I do that. Right now my leg is at an angle, but it's meant to be forward, this leg. So that's what it looks like. So if you can, and try to like really pull your toes back so that your toes are like right up on it. You could get it back as far as you can, and then kind of scooch forward is the best way to do it. So maybe you're here, and that's totally cool. Take 5 breaths wherever you're at. If you can, you could start to kind of creep down a little bit. This is definitely pretty intense. So 5 breaths, and then we'll change. I feel a lot of like stretch in my pinky toe and my shin, but over time that'll relax and open up once your foot has an idea of what you're doing. Right now, my body is like, what is this? I even feel it all the way up, like up to here in that toe stretch. So yeah, that's what that is. So let's switch sides. Let's see the second side. Okay. Go ahead, give yourself a little scooch, get that leg down. Also, if you need, if there's a lot of discomfort on the leg that's bent like that, you could put a block under your knee to encourage like the support of the ground. So go ahead, grab your foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let that go and give yourself a little vinyasa. And now, come down, and we could do, maybe we'll do one of the asana. So I'm gonna bend my foot and put this one over here. My left foot is bent. My right foot is over my left knee. Okay? I'm gonna reach. Well, first I'm gonna put my right hand at the base of my spine, reach my left arm up, and I'm gonna hook and twist. If this is where you're at, that's great. If you could go further, try to reach your hand through the hole and wrap around to get that twist. I'm able to do it today with a lot of force, but it's there. I'm gonna hold it for 5 breaths. It's a nice opening feeling. I'm not gonna do all of these in the whole series. We're gonna do this and then move on. You could look over your right shoulder as well. Okay, and when you're ready, let it go. And let's switch sides. We're gonna bend the right leg, take the left leg over the right knee, put your left hand back behind you, find length in your spine, and hook your arm to twist. Whew, that feels pretty nice. If you can, I don't think on this side I can, but you try to put your hand through the hole and then your hand meet your hands. I'm not there today, but I can just hang out here or use a strap. For 5 breaths, I'm gonna look over my left shoulder, for 5, 4. This feels really nice. I can feel my whole hip opening. Okay, and on your 5th breath, let it go, and you guessed it, we're gonna vinyasa. So make your way there. You could jump, hop, be as crazy as you want. This is where I'm at today. Okay, and now our inversion, we're gonna do like the shoulder stand sequence. I've left out one of the variations. That's for another day. Okay, so we're gonna do what we usually call a shoulder stand to plow, to the lotus and plow kind of thing, and then shoulder stand, plow, ear pressure pose, lotus in the shoulder stand, and then we'll do a fish pose. So we're going to do those 5 things. Each one we are meant to hold for 5 breaths. If you need to come back up for air or whatever, that's totally fine. My voice is probably going to get really constricted just because the throat really constricts. So I'll try my best to guide you through. But if not, just do it with me. Just watch. You know, sometimes you don't need to hear all the little explanations. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna swing my legs over. And then I'm gonna walk my hands up my back so that I can support, and then bring my legs back up, because that's just how I like to do it. Here you can see I do have quite a bit of an angle. I'm gonna try not to twist my neck because it's not good. But actually I need to be more straight, and I'm gonna do my best for 5 breaths. But again, don't look around here. Just keep your legs up over here. It's a nice inversion. If you feel some pinching on your neck, you're open. You could always use blankets under your shoulders. Okay, from here I'm gonna bring my legs back to the ground into plow pose. Right now that feels nice to also support my hips with my hands. If you would prefer, you could clasp your hands and straighten them. Keep your legs straight. Okay, now, after 5 breaths, start to bend your knees around your ears. Squeeze your ears if you can. Okay, and now from here I'm going to bring my hands back to my hips, and I'm going to try to get into a lotus pose. If you can't do it, just go ahead and do like more of a Sukhasana pose. Let's see if I can force it like that. Ooh. Ooh, I caught myself. Okay. Now I'm going to try to really send energy through my spine, because I'm meant to push my... Try not to get too crazy, but I'm meant to push my hands into my knees, but I'm not sure that's accessible to me today. Definitely be gentle with this because it's your neck. Okay, so from here, I'm going to bring my legs down and let my hips lower. Ooh, ooh, I'm like a little ball. Okay, now I'm going to continue while in this lotus pose. I'm going to drop my legs, and then I'm going to start to, when my chest lifts, I'm going to let it, so that I could do like a countering back bend. And hold that for 5 breaths. Okay, and then on the release, I'm gonna bring my back to the ground, and I'm gonna release my legs. And if you like here, you can do one more vinyasa. I think I'm just gonna call it a day. And let's do our shavasana. For this, I'm gonna set my alarm because I'm in public and potentially look like I'm sleeping or dead. I might look around a little bit just because I get a little paranoid that someone might come and steal my phone or me. Just being honest, that's the thoughts I get. But I'm gonna try my best to relax. Let's see my timer. Okay, so we'll do a shavasana. So go ahead, you know shavasana. Oh, there's a bee right there. I'm gonna put my feet that way, just so I don't get stung on my face. That seems more painful than my leg. Oh, it left. He left. Okay, I'm gonna actually go the regular way. Okay, ready? Shavasana. Good night. Thank you for practicing if you're on your way out. I'll catch you in the next video if you don't have time, but this is the most important pose, so try your best. Okay, yogis. Go ahead, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a full body stretch. And hug your knees to your chest. Maybe do a little side to side rock. And drop your knees to the right. And press your hands, your left hand, then your right, to get you up off the ground. Okay, and find your Sukhasana. Here we would typically do the closing mantra, but one, I don't know it off the top of my head, and two, I'm not sure how people will respond to that. Anyway, thank you so much for practicing here with me today. Namaste. So if you enjoyed this, please show some love, help me within the YouTube algorithm. I'm also teaching other styles. I teach a Vinyasa style and a Hatha and a Yin yoga. So if any of those are appealing to you, please check out those videos. This is the first Ashtanga video I'm doing. I'll have more Ashtanga videos at the point, if you watch this as it's released, then I may not have the other videos up because they will slowly be released. Please follow me for more health related things, yoga related things, yoga philosophy, alternative therapy philosophies. You could follow me on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also put out shorts. If you like them, give them a watch, give them a like, just to support my channel, help me grow. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me practice with you. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you come back to have some more practice. Together we could get stronger, we can get better, faster, improve in all areas of our aspects, and that's really my goal here, is to share the tools that I've learned that make me happy and healthy. So I hope to pass that on to you as well. Thank you, yogis. See you next time.